Hi everyone, welcome to Otaku Saga. I'm DK.
I'm Rizzo.
And I'm Zero, and this is
Otaku Saga Talks,
where we talk
Yeah.
about our Midseason Winter 2017 Part 2.
Finally.
Finally, yes.
Finally.
It's been a couple weeks since the first one because we've been trying to catch up with other series.
Shit happened, yo, and shit was whack.
Yes. So, yeah, actually a new feature of this one, we are actually doing this live via our Discord chat, our Discord channel.
So we're seeing people chat their way through. Hopefully we can get more people on there because this is awesome, and we'd love to get more feedback and more discussions.
Yeah, we like to start doing this kind of from now on. Way to engage with you guys a lot more, and yeah, kind of getting out there live.
Yep.
So if we start throwing out names here, that's because they're part of our Discord chat.
Indeed, and they probably said something foolish. Anyway, so let's go ahead and roll into it. So the first one that I wanted to talk about today is Fuka.
Fuka.
So, yeah, so just, I guess, brief overview. Fuka is about an antisocial guy who ends up being forced into a band.
With a very, very
Eccentric,
yeah.
say.
Yeah.
There we go.
Eccentric girl.
Eccentric girl.
That's putting it nicely.
And there's also a very hot and so much better childhood friend.
That
who's
has
an
no
idol.
chance whatsoever. If only on the principle that you like her.
Indeed. She
And
is
no one-
totally doomed.
That has to be one of the rules of anime when we write them.
Right.
Has to be.
So as Overbearing Enthusiast says here, they never do. We all know that.
It's been accepted by society.
It has been accepted by society, just like Hideyoshi's.
Exactly. It's just part of life.
This one's a little slow, I think.
It's very. You could definitely tell that it's very much the drama angle.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
very much teenage melodrama.
Yeah, definitely. I really do like the dynamics between everybody. It's real. It's drama. It's
You can buy the situations kind of happening.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Fuka.
Of course, you don't like Fuka.
course, she's
Maybe
the girl
because
with
her
the-
introduction in the series was her.
That was pretty fun.
Ka!
Yeah, her running straight into the main character and then blaming everything on him and trying to knock him the fuck out and destroying his property.
Jumping to conclusions, the anime.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a really bad introduction to the character.
I will definitely agree with that.
Yeah. But it has improved somewhat since then.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
She-
It's still a bit slow.
Well, she basically had a 180 in her personality since then. And now, like, she went from that to, like, I don't know, maybe a month later or so in series time.
Yeah. all of a
And
sudden-
she's, like, super close with the main character.
Does she have like an accident off screen or something? Is her name actually Hiyori?
It's funny you say that.
She does. Person in chat, Fuka does have ridiculous pipes, though. Yeah, she does.
That is true.
It's
I
actually
didn't
really
know that
funny
music.
because, like, off screen, me and Rizzo had a conversation about the insert songs. Some of the insert songs are badly placed, really badly placed.
Yeah,
Random breaking.
it's the ones where I think it was in episode 6, which was the most recent one that we watched. There's a scene where Koyuki, the childhood friend, and you, the main character, it's when they're children and they're sitting on like a swing set and they're talking, and then just suddenly Koyuki just breaks into song for no apparent fucking reason.
Yeah, I think I mentioned
And
that.
it was basically just so you could have that scene where he goes, "Oh, you're a really good singer. You should try to do it professionally." So she does.
Yeah, not even Broadway or Disney are that bad. You know, at least they try to segue into song and dance numbers, all right. But that was just a bit random, I thought. about it.
And then I dig into our past and remind you guys of the Draghi Stalinte, the Numa Numa song.
I thought you were going to talk about the last couple episodes of 100.
And a bunch of other musical tastes that we have that will just... We've done that, though. It's strange that, randomly one of us will just start singing because he has a song stuck in his head.
Yeah, but it's not... I don't know. In the actual episode itself, it just seemed like super forced.
It does seem forced, I guess. I'm not sure. I really have a hard time with fighting you on that, just because us as a crew come from a musical background and are musical ourselves.
We do tend to break in the song at some random times, but there's also conversations that lead up to that, or like if I do it, then I start humming before I break in the song, so you kind of know that it's coming.
Otaku Saga the musical. Oh man.
Oh, hamster.
As we all start breaking into...
We have to do it.
Right.
Later.
Well, obviously.
Otaku Saga musical.
Right now, the only song from the show would be Channels Down Again.
Copyright strike again.
Exactly. But not quite.
Right.
It looked like
But wait, it's back up.
That totally fucking happened today. This is more Otaku Saga the opera.
Right. But yeah, it's even like we had the discussion of in the earlier episode after Fuka and you had gone to see Koyuki's concert. There's a part where they're walking and Fuka breaks in a song that's a little bit more natural, but it was still kind of strange to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is natural, like, after you go to a concert, yeah, chances are you have the song stuck in your head.
Right.
Chances are you're driving down the highway with all your buddies, blaring the music and screaming it out at the top of your lungs.
Or at the very least, humming the tune for a while, for like several days afterward, maybe, if it was...
Right. So I could see Fuka breaking in the song there, but to me, it still felt kind of forced.
And also, the kind of... we're kind of shifting away here. The progression of like the relationship that Yu has with both Koyuki and Fuka. This is supposed to be a 12-13 episode, right?
I'm not sure.
Or is this supposed
I
to be
believe
longer?
so.
It feels like it's...
Suppose I should look that up.
Yeah, because to me it feels like it's... I don't know. It just feels like it's going at a slower pace. Like maybe it would for a 24 episode anime. Sometimes.
12 episodes.
12 episodes? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be pretty quick. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But it sometimes feels like, the development of the inner character relationships feels a bit slow. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to pin them down exactly where, but...
But yeah, it's slow. It's slow, but it's okay. Love the dynamics.
A little bit awkward, but okay.
Music's okay.
It's kind of like growing up as a teenager, really.
I'm not gonna deny that.
A little
That's
bit
like,
awkward, so... I guess by that logic, it kind of does its job very well. It tells its story well in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
pretty much a solid 75% like thumbs up for me.
You know, this one's really hard for me to say because as far as like from an animation standpoint, it's really well done.
Dio Media. It's been on fire lately.
Yeah, like they really did a good job on it. The story so far, I feel, is pretty well done. My problem is that I was reading part of the manga, and then I have a coworker that also reads manga and is into anime, and he spoiled a giant part of the later part of the story for me.
Oh.
And anybody who reads the manga probably knows which part I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah, spoiler free.
Hamster.
I'm
No.
as usual.
Hamster is correct, and that's probably about the vaguest that you could put it. But it was a horrible twist. I hear that a lot of people stopped reading the manga after it. And knowing that happened makes me not like this series so much.
Yeah, I think you might be best.
Like it was a big thing. Like it showed up as Overbearing Enthusiast is saying on our chat. He hadn't even seen the story, so it's as I said, it was nasty. It made people drop the manga. So knowing what I know about the later parts of the series makes me drops my enthusiasm for this series.
Understandably so. In a way, I'm really not looking forward to it now.
Yeah.
And now
well,
I know it's coming.
It's late enough that it's probably not going to show up in the anime, to be honest.
Well, wow. Okay, so a plot point that major, but not even showing up in the anime. I guess
it's a rather long manga.
I guess they're going to push for a season 2 then.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, be prepared for an open-ended ending.
I do gotta say though, enthusiasm comes back up when I realize that I can hear Sayori Hayami singing. Because, yeah.
I do gotta say that the music in here is fantastic, despite the odd placement of it all.
Mm-hmm.
You would hope so, being that it does play a major role in the story.
And for those in our little Discord, this is a spoiler-free podcast. Mostly. We shouldn't have to.
We make an effort, but as usual, there's a spoiler alert.
Well, I think we're basically going to be generally speaking about the series, not specifically speaking about plot points.
Well, up to the point as well.
Up to the point.
Up to the point where we're at.
Yeah.
So. For those who didn't know, now you know.
Yep. So I think that's about it for Fuka.
Yep.
Have anything? I guess if I had to give a range on what I'm at, it's probably about halfway. It's like a 50% right now. Just because 50%. that just to vaguely tell you guys how big that was, it's bringing it down that much for me. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably be 70, 80%.
Well, so that's the problem with spoilers, because now, my opinion of the series has been colored by that knowledge, however vague it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of around the same range as you, Zero. About, I guess, 50-75% enthused about the series.
It's not my favorite, definitely.
Yeah, no, far and away, it's not my favorite.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not my favorite, but that's because we are watching some series that are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. You mean all the ones that we did in the first half?
Exactly.
But yeah, so let's I guess move on from Fuka and get to the next one on our list, which random.
What list?
Tales of Zestiria.
The X.
Part 2. So judging this based off of the second half of it, because it was a split core series, I'm actually not as impressed with the second half as I was with the first.
Agreed.
I will have to agree with that.
I'm definitely having echoes of Bungo Stray Dogs Season 2. Yeah. Especially with the in proportion amount of time they spent on Rose's backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, does that... I guess, how far are you in the game, though?
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near to be worried about that?
I haven't even gotten to Lady Lake.
Oh, damn. Damn.
Well, he's been trying to get OBS and other software, trying to get to where
I've been trying to get the
issues.
Let's Plays recorded.
This should be like the official Otaku Saga response for everything that goes wrong.
Yeah, I can't seem to record anything without the frame rate dropping the ass.
Shit always happens in Shippy Whack, yo.
Jay, I wouldn't quite say it was mediocrity, the anime. I mean, the anime itself, the animation, the story is a pretty decent set of stories and set of circumstances. Just the way that they're kind of portraying it, or like where the pacing. There we go.
Yeah,
Pacing's bad.
I think the adapting it from a video game to an anime, they didn't correctly choose the pacing that they should have had, and therefore, like the Rose content, I think they probably could have got done just a touch quicker.
Yeah,
Maybe
touch nothing.
Shaved off an episode or two, to be honest.
Exactly, I think too.
I don't mind the Rose content. I really don't. Rose is like, I love Rose. I really do. But at the same time, I love Alicia as well, and I want more of her story because at this point in time, Alicia's bad day needs to end. Please, for the love of God.
That poor girl.
Yeah, the way she's going, her bad day will end when she does.
Right.
But yeah, there's much more story, besides Rose's backstory here. I mean, the great, we got the big bad Lord of Calamity and whatnot to deal with. And how long is this one going on? Is this a 24, 25 episode?
This is the second half of the
the
two-core series.
Two-core, okay. So,
yeah, I think that the boredom with this series really comes from the pacing, the rather bad pacing.
It just started off slow because of the
pacing is
backstory.
good for a video game where you're interacting with it. Mm-hmm. It's not so good for animation where you're just watching it.
Yeah, you're watching it and you don't have nearly as much time to invest in that kind of storytelling because you only have so many episodes.
Yeah, I do gotta say though, as far as comparing this one to the first half of it, I like that they haven't gone back to the Berseria stuff because I don't really feel that that's necessary in this particular anime.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it would be better if the Berseria stuff got maybe an OVA series to itself.
It's okay, Jay. I miss Velvet too.
I really do like Velvet as well.
I think Velvet and that,
I just feel that it would be better if it were in its own OVA series rather than like.
It's exactly like what they. It's exactly what we were saying about second season of Bungo Stray Dogs.
Yep, the whole
those 4 episodes belong in an OVA.
Yeah, the whole Otaku arc there. Yeah, could have been 2-3 episode OVA. Boom.
Especially since there was just so much time between Tales season 1 and Tales season 2.
That's another thing too. I mean, they probably, if they kind of went like they didn't take the break, I think it might have helped out the pacing a little bit as well for some reason.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're getting back into the series, and you'd want to kind of hit its stride more from the get-go, but instead we get the Rose backstory, and I think that kind of bogs it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that when the action picks up with Alicia and the Knights infiltrating Lady Lake, it kind of lost its impact, or the moment is past, as it were.
Yeah, I think I typically end up having a problem with a lot of split core series because of that.
Yeah.
They end up pacing it as if it was a just a straight through 2-core series, but because you get that long break in between, the 3-month break basically, the pacing always just seems off to me.
Like even Super Series, even the silly Super Series know better.
Same thing. They take a break.
You got to take a break. With every arc, there's a filler arc. There's joke episodes. You got to take a break sometime.
Yeah, but if they do the same thing, even though it is a super series, it still feels a little.
Yeah.
I feel a little slow to get back up to pace, as it were.
But you don't take a huge break. You gotta pace things out properly.
Well, I mean, it also depends. Like if you're doing a second season, like let's say Konosuba, or upcoming we have Boku no Hero Academia. If you're doing it as a second season, like a year later, then it's usually not so bad either because you're running it as a completely different series rather than planning both of them together.
Yeah, and in either case, though, Konosuba did it right. The recap, the reintroduction, getting back up to speed only basically it only took one episode. Maybe or a couple episodes.
No, it is
With the
basically
letter, right?
one episode.
Yeah.
With the trial.
I mean, yeah, after the trial, we're back to vintage Konosuba, you know, guffawing all over the place, yada yada. I think they could have, they could have done that with Tales of Zestiria by shortening Rose's backstory and the assassination attempt on Conan.
I don't know if I would classify those two things in the same. Oh, sorry, I looked up a chat and Hamster's talking about One Punch Man second season.
Oh, you know we're gonna be on that.
Yeah, we'll be on that like white on rice.
I'm actually more worried about Attack on Titan season 2 because I don't know how that's gonna fare. Because, like, I think that this is for a different podcast, for a different talk. But
yeah, we'll say for like a preseason.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily place both of those in the same even like category. Just because, again, the split core is designed as a regular 2-core series. It just happens to have a 3-month break in between. And therefore, it wouldn't necessarily be right to have any recap during that, what is it, episode 13 or 14, whatever ends up being the first episode of the second half.
But what I'm kind of getting at here is, I mean, regardless of what, kind of episode was made to start off the new core or the new series, the point I was trying to make is that Konosuba kind of gets back to its old pace, the one that we all know and love, better than Zestiria did.
oh yeah, by far. Right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Still keeping up with it, still enjoying it.
Oh yeah, especially where we're at too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I enjoy it. It's just, it seems like it doesn't make for a lot of great reactions from us if we're being serious. So we have an episode of it coming up where we actually filmed 2 reactions for it. The first one was us being mostly serious, and the second one was where we let loose all the sexual innuendos that we possibly could.
Just look at Rizzo's shirt.
Because there were so many times in that episode where a character would say something that I would just like, nope, I shouldn't say that.
It's just too easy.
No. Not that it's too easy, it's, wow, that's really off-colored. Why did I think that?
Yeah.
But we filmed both, and we're going to release both.
Yes.
Because...
This particular episode was pretty bad on the innuendos.
Yeah.
Like
It was like that episode of Gundam, really.
Did we ever release that episode?
I don't know.
I think we did. It was before episode.
No, I don't think that we released. I don't think that we released most of Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans season 1. So I'm pretty sure, because it was one of the last episodes of that we filmed. But there was an episode of Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans season 1 that we were just like every single other sentence we would come up with some sexual innuendo.
Yeah, and it's mostly just Tekadon going to Earth. If I remember correctly.
It was a boring
That's it.
episode, actually.
Yeah. It was a transitional episode, and we were just going off on it. I don't know. We'll have to dig through the archives. And all that stuff. Dig through the records.
Anyway, as far as the Tales of Zestiria second season goes, I'm giving it like a to be completely honest.
It's like 30-40%.
And for those listening on the chat, an for me is like 25 to 40%. It's really not doing that good.
I love how it's never just like straight up thumbs up or thumbs down with you guys. It's always it's like a dial, sort of.
It is. It really is, because if I just give a straight thumbs down, that's not really saying what I want to say about the series.
Fair enough.
Because I do enjoy it. I mean, we're still freaking watching it after all.
Well,
and I still, like, every Sunday, we still pull up, hey, let's watch Tales of Zestiria.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. More ufotable glory, basically. Holy shit.
Well, the animation does really bring it up for me, because that animation is, like, hard-on worthy.
Yeah, I swear, if Ufotable made a full-length feature film, and did screenings in the U.S., it would maybe qualify for an Oscar nomination. Maybe. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I decided to post a picture of a sunrise that I took at work, and I swear it fits right into the background of a Tales episode.
Yeah, honestly, I could see Ufotable actually animating that and it looking almost exactly the same. Huh. See, even Chad agrees.
I'll try to put it up here, maybe.
You've been saying that the last couple episodes. So.
I have.
You can do that here?
Oh god.
What have you
No.
Don't open up
what
the
half you
floodgates.
rot, Zero?
Anyway.
Yeah,
Moving
so
on here.
yeah. So you
All
said
right.
about 40%?
Yeah,
30,
40%.
Yeah. I mean, well, obviously the visuals are so glorious. I'd probably still give it 50, 55%.
Definitely not as good as the first season.
Not as good, but in the last couple episodes where we are, it has gotten much better.
Yeah.
Gets a rousing meh from Jay.
Rousing.
Rousing. My
Well,
war
you
on
tried.
Glorious
language.
victory!
My war on language continues.
So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which randomizer is Little Witch Academia. So Little Witch Academia, I enjoyed the OVAs, and I really gotta say that the series is kind of disappointing.
It does kind of fall flat because you're kind of the whole gist of it seems okay. Luna Nova, the struggle is real. They're trying to pretty much keep above water, but you don't really feel that struggle except for those little depressing scenes where you're reminded of the school struggle to exist.
Well, there's that, and it's just so episodic. I would really like to have at least a couple episode arc once in a while.
Now, for those in chat, we are up to episode 6. We haven't gone any further.
Yeah.
So everything that is episode 7 or 8, we do not know yet.
Yeah.
As of this recording.
As of this
Yeah.
recording.
Well, that's why it's the mid-season podcast, not the post-season.
Yep. And that's kind of why it's taken us so long to come out with this one, because we kind of got backed up on that one.
So we had to catch up
Just
to this
because
point.
it's not grabbing me. Like it's not. I don't think it's really grabbing at us.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's like I said, it falls a little bit flat, and also compared to basically as Rizzo mentioned earlier, the titles we covered in the last Otaku Saga talks on the subject. It just loses out by comparison.
There's some series that are just so much easier, like every week to go, hey, this came out. We should totally sit down and watch it right now.
Demi-chan, Masamune-kun, Yojo Senki,
Senki.
Tails, Kobayashi, Konosuba. I mean, that's just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know there's.
I know there's a couple more.
There's one that we're forgetting. I know.
Gabriel dropped it.
Gabriel
Thank you,
dropped
chat.
out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mindless.
But yeah, I mean, those 7 that we did last week. I mean, that's
Those are, those are the ones we're hyped about, truth be told, and don't really feel the same.
Well, yeah, let's just put it like when we do our postseason podcast and we come out with our superlatives lists, it's not going to be a surprise that the ones that we did in part 1 of this podcast are going to be our top series.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. But so like Little Witch Academia, in particular, the episodic nature of it, and as DK put it, where there's the kind of greater story about Luna Nova basically being poor, like broke, about to close down. Like you really don't get that unless the characters are talking about it on screen.
Yeah, and when they do, it's just so
dry.
bleak.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get the whole Fafnir repossessing the crystal, the magic crystal.
Yeah, but at least with the Fafnir scene, you had the sort of absurdity of a dragon who's also a day trader.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of lifted it up, but actually, in the episode we most recently watched, the visit of the dignitaries, where we get introduced to Andrew. What's his name?
Yeah.
And I do like him being introduced as a character, and I hope he has an impact in the story going forward. But there's that whole song and dance number trying to impress the dignitaries and all that stuff. It just felt dry, dreary, a little depressing, really.
Minless in chat said Luna Nova being poor sub-story was pretty much resolved in episode 5. I think it was mostly there to explain why Akko was even allowed in. That actually makes sense.
Well, no, that actually confused me in episode 6 because they're basically still talking about how they're poor.
Yeah, still.
How they're broke. But in episode 5 with the Fafnir thing, it outright states that Fafnir owed them a shitload of back pay because he had been charging them interest for 1,000 years when the original contract didn't have interest on it.
Compound interest, the most powerful force in the universe.
But so he had been charging them that, and so he owed them that, so they should be like swimming in money. You think a dragon is actually going to give up his hoard? No, definitely not. But from what I remember in episode 6, they is that what it was? I could have sworn that they were talking about like still, I guess, needing support from whatever country the dignitaries were from, and that's why they were entertaining them. That's what I got out of it anyway. Because other than that, I can't think of any reason why they would
entertain
really
rich guys.
Why they would put themselves out so much to entertain the rich guys. Yeah. And
I mean, the whole episode in episode 6, the whole episode kind of focused a little bit more on magic, but that poor Luna Nova thing is still there. We did get backstory for Chariot and stuff like that, and I like it.
And it is starting to move forward. The whole story is starting to move forward from this point.
I mean, this is a 24-episode series.
That is true.
So
they are just going for the
they
light play.
have the time.
It's being drawn out. I'm not exactly fond of how they're doing it, though.
Yeah.
It's like a strong 50-60% for me of excitement to watch this series.
And then that's also what it ultimately comes down to, is how hyped we are for it.
Yeah.
No, I think that you can tell that the story's starting to pick up now. I'm just a little disappointed that it took all the way till episode 6 before I got that feeling.
It seems to be a trend. Like the first 4 episodes are
like
almost
episode one.
episodes
Episode 1,
in
I was
anime.
like, meh, okay, it's an introduction to the world for the people who didn't watch the OVAs. And then episode 2, I felt like, oh hey, there's something cool going on here. And then episodes 3, 4, and 5 were like, really?
Oh, it's backstory?
Well, no, because 3 was the broom race, right?
I believe so.
4 was
Nightfall.
Nightfall.
yeah, 4 was Nightfall,
Totally not Twilight.
and then 5 was the day trading Fafnir.
Yeah, alright, and out of those 3 episodes, which ones have actually had an impact on the overreaching story?
Fafnir.
Exactly.
That's the only one.
Exactly.
So I feel that they've done a little, I guess, faffing about here that they probably didn't really need to do. However, it's not like wholly uncommon for Trigger to do that, though, because they even did that in Kill la Kill.
Actually, speaking of not like Trigger, and I mentioned this before, I think as early as episode 1 or 2, this does not feel entirely like your standard Trigger series. They've definitely toned down the Trigger-ness, if you will.
The what the fuck-a-meter?
Yeah. I think this series might have... Well, I mean, just imagine all the crazy situations that a bunch of novice magicians could, get themselves into through the eyes of a standard Trigger work. How ridiculous that would have been. That's what I was expecting coming into this series, and I haven't really gotten it.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it's just kind of meh.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, like the animation and the pacing and all this other stuff.
Animation is a bit wonky.
Even if Tails gets a lesser rating, I'm more excited for Tails just because I like the characters and all that a little bit better than in Little Witch Academia.
You know what? I'm starting to think I might like this anime a little bit more if it wasn't Trigger who made it.
Ooh.
Hear me out here, because the story so far doesn't feel quite like a standard Trigger work. What if someone like Dio Medea did it with better animation, a more straightforward, classical kind of storyline? I think it would be better. I'm not trying to be mean here.
Yeah, that's definitely a an idea.
And a sudden hush fell over the crowd.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so I like some of the trigger-ish things that I've seen glimpses of, and I'm kind of hoping that we get more. Like the broom race one, it really reminded me of the Absolutely Don't Be Late episode from Kill la Kill.
So episode 3?
It was like
4?
episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of that, and I freaking loved it.
Oh yeah.
That episode had nothing to do with the actual overreaching story, as far as I could tell. But I absolutely loved that episode because it was so freaking ridiculous.
Fair enough. Well, actually, I guess to an extent, the Nightfall episode. Following,
that was actually my least favorite episode out of all 6 of them that we watched.
I'll have to agree with that.
But yeah, they tried. Oh, actually, yeah. I guess you're right. They tried to go again for that kind of randomness here, and I do love the concept of Nightfall as a story of all the random shit they tossed in. But yeah, it's just a lot to go into a convention, really. In this snap, it's not impactful, and that's what Trigger does. It's impactful stuff.
So yeah, if I gave it an overall score, it's probably in the 50 to 60% range for me.
At this point.
I have high hopes for it.
Apparently people in chat, Minless, Jay, episode 7 and 8, apparently it gets better.
Bro, that's gonna be hot fire. We'll see.
Like I said, we're like Rizzo said, we're still looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes.
It has potential, but yeah,
it's
just
in it
started
for
showing
the
it
long run.
Yeah, I mean, we're in it for all 25, 26 episodes. I think it's been green-lighted for.
Yeah, we've decided that we're not going to be dropping this one.
Yeah, we gave it that 3 episode rule. We're gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah,
so again, kind of middle of the road at this point.
Yeah, where it's at right now, definitely middle of the road.
Yeah, they reiterate that, but yeah.
So let's hit the randomizer button again.
Akiba's strip.
No whammies. No whammies.
Akiba's trip.
Strip?
Akiba's trip. Akiba's trip.
The one where everyone's has to fight by taking each other's clothes off. Yeah.
So
it's a strip.
That series is very up and down for me. You can definitely tell that it was made for otaku.
You about stole the words right out of my head. It is definitely a work by fans, for fans, very much in the spirit of...
But by otaku, for otaku.
Yeah, very much in the spirit of Otaku no Video, just with zany action.
Pretty much. I mean, it's basically, okay, every episode, let's pick one facet of otakudom, and we'll theme the entire episode after that. And it's an episodic series of
Monster of the Week at this point.
Electric Mayo going and stripping enemies.
As Chad said, enjoyable, stupid fun, but not much more.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's it.
Nailed it.
That's exactly
Definitely a guilty pleasure kind of series.
Moving on.
There you go. Moving on. Don't even need a percentage or any thoughtful discussion.
The only thing that I want to add to that is I definitely enjoy hearing more songs from earphones.
Fuck yes, earphones. Rizzo and I are huge fans of Sorigaseiyu. Love that series.
Yeah, I absolutely love Sorigaseiyu, and the fact that they still have earphones working together is awesome. And if you don't know who that is, it's basically the unit that they formed of the voice actresses from Sorigaseiyu to do songs for that series, and now they're working on and doing songs for this series. So I do like hearing that.
That's pretty much all there is to say. It's zany. The animation is like, I wouldn't very, very smooth flowing. It doesn't chop. It's not.
It's respectable.
But it's
up to industry standard, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
probably.
I mean, with how awesome, most anime is in terms of animation, those technical, by those technical criteria. If it's up to industry standard, it's good.
Well, it is by Gonzo after all. So.
Gonzo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so not a whole lot to say about the series. As I put it, it's very up and down for me. We get the episodes like the first episode was really enjoyable. The second episode was the Gunji Otaku one. That one was good for me. And then I'm trying to remember what happened after that. We actually have not watched episode 6 of this one yet. Unfortunately, there's 3 episodes that we wanted to watch before doing this podcast that we weren't able to get to, which is episode 6 of Akiba's trip and what ends up being the episode 17 and 18 of Gundam season 2. But yeah, so we had then we had, I believe, a porno episode where the girls are tricked into, they're tricked by telling them that they're going to make them idols, and they end up trying to shoot them in an adult video,
which was hilarious.
In the famous rooftop pool.
I mean, if this were an American show, well, actually, it wouldn't be an American show for one because we're too uptight over here. But if it were, the equivalent would be them on, in an office on a big black leather couch.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so sleazy.
But then you get episodes like the radio episode I wasn't that interested in, or the was there one more? No.
Oh yeah, the video game tournament.
Yeah, the video game tournament. That one was okay.
I actually liked how they actually used Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
And also Street Fighter 2, Super Turbo, I think it was called. Yeah.
But
I do like that they actually got sponsored by.
They got the rights to use.
Yeah, they got the rights to use real stuff,
yeah.
Including Carl's Jr. for some reason.
God, yeah.
It. Now
I don't think that we've posted that episode yet, but there's an episode where they go to Carl's Jr. and I swear to God, it looks just like the new what do you call it? The new interior design for Carl's Jr. Like most of the ones that we have around here are the old design and they look like shit. But if you go to one like say closer to San Francisco or something, the ones where they come out with a new interior design and they have it that week.
Boom.
That's exactly what it looks like. And like I was sitting there going, they have Carl's Jr. in Japan? That's one of those fast food restaurants that I would not expect to go over to Japan.
Not only that, but like the menu items that were on it were menu items that were literally
they had thick burgers.
Yeah,
which is the actual trademarked.
That's a trademark product.
Trademark product of Carl's Jr.
It's as if they went in and took actual photographs of an actual Carl's Jr. and just pasted that in the frame.
Not just like a Carl's Jr. from like years ago. It was Carl's Jr. from 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's as if they colluded with the company and got approval to use actual shit of theirs.
Well, I mean, with how much they put in there, they must have got approval from the company. I'm mostly still just sitting here going, they have Carl's Jr. in Japan?
Well, but I mean, between that,
let us know,
and all the, between that and the actual, anime and video game references and all that stuff, how much money did they spend on getting the rights to use that? Imagine the production budget for this series.
I have no idea. But
holy shit, yo.
Yeah.
It might outdo the cat budget.
It might just outdo cat budget.
But we're still going to keep it. We're still going to call it cat budget because
nothing
that's
outdoes
awesome.
cat
Strip budget?
Strip budget. No, that's a weekend in Vegas.
Nothing outdoes cat budget. That's right.
Nothing out. You damn right.
Actually, right. I think I will pose strip budget for those anime that over advertise.
Oh, okay. So all right. So over animates cat budget, over advertised strip budget.
Yeah.
I almost want to work in a reference to
there you go. Website carlsjr.jp.
Oh, holy shit!
Well, I'll be
that way when
like that. I'm like just like full stop, straight being honest here. That one surprises the fuck out of me because like McDonald's is super prevalent over there.
Right.
Burger King, not so much.
I would imagine the nationwide chains are huge. If there's an In-N-Out in Tokyo, though, I will be straight shocked. If there's like an In-N-Out or a Whataburger or something like that, that'll just be what the hell?
Well, no,
at that point.
Like I haven't seen anything on it recently, but even as
makes me hungry too.
Even as recently, yeah, I know. I'm totally gonna go stop somewhere before I go to work.
Those Carl's Jr.
But even as recently as a few years ago, there was only like maybe one or two Burger Kings in Tokyo. The only Taco Bell was on the U.S. military base. Things like that. I would have expected Carl's Jr. to be like way down the list.
Yeah.
Of things that would go over there.
But I mean, there we go. When we finally will get rich enough to afford a trip to Japan, we can go have a thick burger.
No.
Hell no.
No.
Well, we'll practically live in Tsukiji Fish Market for that time, I'm sure. Probably.
And now I have a food boner.
Moving on to...
So next up we have Sangatsu no Lion.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yeah.
So Sangatsu no Lion, this is the second half of Sangatsu no Lion, episode 12 through 17, which we have watched up to 17. And it pretty much does what it did in the first half. Like I haven't felt that there's any decline or even an improvement.
Actually, I think
there is a bit of an improvement.
I was just about to say I think that there is an improvement. The pacing has kind of gotten to a more tense. Not the pacing, the mood. The mood's a little more tense. I mean, with what was it, Kyoko and. Kyoko and that whole deal going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's heavy. It's stressful. I worry about the character, and I love it.
I actually like how Rei is developing as a character. Because you kind of, if you're looking at everything through his eyes, you feel, that angst, you feel that tension and everything. That comes with, growing up as a kid with an extraordinarily amount of psychological baggage. It really.
And here's the part where I reveal that I have read a lot of the manga.
Here we go again.
Because I just couldn't wait. And I totally agree, Jay. Kyoko is still hot and scary. And in fact, in the last episode, I believe it was the previous episode that we watched, 17. Yeah. She is like the part where they're in Rei's apartment, and like they're kind of just like relaxing or whatever, and they're eating the bento that She's eating the bento that the Kawamoto sisters made for Rei.
Bitch.
She was really freaking adorable in that scene. Like, surprisingly adorable in that scene.
I still hate her guts, but I have to admit, that episode alone did a fantastic job of humanizing her.
Sal, we are on Sangatsu no Lion. But yeah, so going back before I got interrupted by what the chat said, I have read a lot of the manga, and like as far as the pacing goes, the anime is following the manga like basically perfectly. Like that's exactly how the manga is, and I think it is just really I guess well written. The thing that I really love about this series that I think probably no other series this season really holds a candle to is the characters.
Characters are
Unfathomably deep.
I wish more anime would go this deep into their characters.
Yes.
I love that I could just dive into any one of these characters. Even the fat rival guy.
Nikaido. I love Nikaido.
Nikaido's one of my favorite characters in the series.
He's so awesome, but he's so deep too.
Yeah,
he's not just that guy that shows up to like
be a loudmouth,
be a loudmouth rival who also
like Joey
is
Wheeler
basically
and
frenemies with Ray. You get the whole backstory where he's been sick since he was a little kid, and
he's had only shogi to turn to while he's been in the hospital.
Yeah, like he couldn't go out and play like other kids, so he.
But then
shogi.
Yeah, but then Ray gave him Ray talked to him that day on the rooftop at the little kids tournament, and you get that bond forming there. But I love that. And Nikaido's just not the usual, paper cutout kind of loudmouth rival.
Hell, there was at one point he told his brother, crack his fucking skull.
Okay, so
he says Ani is.
Yeah, so it's not that I believe Shimada is the guy.
Yeah,
it's not that he's actually his brother. It's more like a
term of respect. Like in the Yakuza, sometimes you can refer to your I guess your boss as as pretty much as Ani, I believe. So it's more of a show of respect.
Yeah, it's basically because Shimada brought Nikaido into that the study group,
into the workshop.
He has a lot of respect for Shimada, but yeah, I mean, actually, basically you get those intense moments where where Nikaido is going up against the higher up players. And Nikaido's as you put it, split his fucking skull basically. But
beat him to a pulp. Come on.
Yeah, beat him to a pulp.
It was awesome. And then right afterwards, he goes over to Ray, and or they basically have this workshop, this camaraderie going on. That's yeah.
But
awesome.
Even Nikaido has just so much character depth that if later in the series, if the author decided to have Nikaido to succumb to his illness, really, and he died, I would honestly be sad about it.
Yeah. Okay. Totally buy that.
I don't want this to end. And that's saying something for a person who is action oriented. I love action.
Well, not only is that coming from you, that carries a lot of weight, but also the fact that Sangatsu no Lion is not our best reaction series. It doesn't elicit a whole lot of us because we're so drawn into it.
Yeah,
that seems to be a trend, though.
Yeah,
but I can almost agree with you.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. It's damn good, and the strength of its characters carries it.
It's almost surprising because typically Shaft works are a lot of flash, rather than so much.
A lot of flash and broken necks, yes.
But they're still flash, the art style of this series.
When they have those visual metaphors, that is Shaft. That is vintage Shaft. Actually, all right. Latest episode we watched, Kyoko and Ray are in the apartment. They're trying to sleep. And Ray
that was
Ray compares the mood to being at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, not only that, but Kyoko kept opening her phone screen,
Yeah,
and it
that
would
blue light
bathe
there.
the room in a blue light.
Yeah, but when they pull away to that overhead shot and you see, the light on the ripples and all that stuff, that was magnificent.
They put ocean surface ripples over them.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And then you get the classic stock shot when Ray kind of, I guess, goes to that dark place. Him on the bridge, the stark black and white and all that stuff. Just absolute art.
And then you got this great art shift when the sisters show up.
And everything's just nice and cheery.
The art
everything.
of this series is amazing.
Yeah.
It's up there with Tales of Zestiria. I think is one of the best animated anime I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Probably the side of Shigatsu Akimi no
It's definitely a different. Yeah, it's hard to compare the two.
It is true. Whereas I think Zestiria is better on a technical front, ultra realistic.
This I feel is better on an artistic front.
Yes.
Which Chef does excel at.
Visual metaphors galore. That is definitely a Chef trademark. There's no metaphor for a broken neck.
Oh, that hurt.
Anyway.
So as far as Sangatsu no Lion goes for me,
Still,
it's 70-80%. I'm still high on it.
Really high. That's
yeah.
90, 95.
I mean, it is one of those series that was so good that I, during the first season, I just couldn't wait, and I went out and read the manga. I didn't read it as far as I could go, but I read quite a significant portion of the manga. So...
But that's your role, though.
That says something for me.
As it was said in chat last night, you're the source material guy.
I am, but if I start watching an anime series, it does say something if watching the anime series makes me want to go read the source material. Because not every anime,
like Keijo.
I actually have not read the source material for that yet. It is on my to-read list.
I thought you read a couple chapters.
I read some. I read some in the beginning, but
you're not caught up on.
I actually read that before the series came out. So. All together now.
That's what we do. Our C ratios are off the charts.
Yeah. And so yeah, for me to go out and read the source material, and then not only that, to read 100 chapters of it all in one go. I read all of that all in one night. That's how good it was.
There you go.
But yeah, so definitely still high on this series. I honestly wish that it would be longer than 2 cours. But
like I said, I don't want it to end.
Limitations of budget and whatnot.
Don't want it to end, and it's only going to get better from here.
Yep.
So, boom.
And then so we're going to go ahead and move along to our last series that we're going to talk about.
Oh boy.
Here. At least talk about fully, because there's a couple other things I want to say. So the last one is Gundam. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans Season 2.
Boy.
And the reason why I left this one for last is because of the previous episode that we have watched. So we watched...
I think they know which one, if yeah.
So
okay, first off,
we're only... I guess technically we're only 4 episodes into the second half of this second core. But... ouch. That's all I gotta say.
Fucking hell, man.
yeah.
That almost physically hurt.
No.
And it's not...
Minless nailed it. He's not even watching, but he knows what that episode is.
Yeah. But this series...
My favorite character. Really? Every time. Really? I get attached to a character, and every time. Really?
Well, at least most of the time it's slice of life, teenage romance, and they just don't, they don't get anywhere with the main character.
Yeah, but, okay, so, saying that... really, hamster?
Hey, at least they didn't, recreate the song. At least our Black Betty here didn't have a child, Bambalam, and damn thing went blind, Bambalam.
Anyway...
So, I want to say that they definitely do a good job in this particular Gundam series, as far as making me like the characters and making me invested in the characters. Because previous Gundam series I've seen, I don't give a rat's ass about any of the characters.
Yes.
Honestly.
I really think that Bandai has really stepped up their game on story writing. Like, the actual story itself and the drama that goes with it is fantastic. Characters aren't that deep. Characters are a bunch of paper cutouts, basically. But the story itself, the drama is wow.
I don't think like Mikazuka and Orga are paper cutouts. But
Well, no, they're not. I'm talking like this series
like standard.
This series as a whole.
All right.
This particular Gundam series as a whole, I felt has been written a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of
I'm talking
course,
about the entire.
I can't
entire
say that
saga.
with I can't actually say that with a whole lot of authority because I don't particularly care for Gundam.
I was about to say, you
Generally
say you
speaking.
don't give a rat's ass about most of the characters. Like, okay, understandable, you know, in some of the more, I guess, stereotypical mecha Gundam series, as it were. G Gundam comes to mind immediately. What's up, G Gundam, V Gundam, even though that kind of has a nasty twist. 0083 for sure. But when you get into the right ones, so in my opinion, like say the original series had its moments. 0080 is a major fields trip. Gundam Wing is just well written with really deep characters, so on and so forth. Yeah, I think you just need to see the right ones instead of the
Well,
stereotypical
like
ones.
Wing was very linear, and you knew that every person who had a Gundam was going to be fine.
Eventually.
Our group here, the group of 5 Gundams, you know, they were going to be fine.
In the end, yeah, they're
Yep.
gonna come out of it.
Yeah, you basically knew that.
Okay.
In Iron-Blooded Orphans,
Anybody could die.
Mob
you
shirts.
now have no idea.
Yeah.
Especially just the way that they've done it.
Well, even like with Mikazuki, you don't know what they're gonna do to him next. Like, you know, I thought it was a pretty big deal when they paralyzed his arm after the first season.
Right.
I was like, oh, you know, I'm glad that the writers actually had the balls to go through with this instead of like, you know, when they realized they were going to get a second season, you know, like retconning it or something like that. I'm glad that the writers actually had the balls to go through with it. But then they upped the ante when he
became paralyzed.
well, yeah, when
Lost
he
his
had to
right
do it again to fight the mobile armor. And he ends up being paralyzed in everything but his right arm unless he's connected to Barbados. And yeah, so this series you just don't know.
Everyone's a mob shirt at best.
Pretty much. The only characters that I could probably say with reasonable certainty that aren't going to die unless they really, really need to inject some drama would be probably Orga is going to be fine because he doesn't really fight. Cadelia is probably going to be fine. I mean, she is a constant damsel in distress, but
Yeah, she's probably going to be fine.
I'm about to say that more supporting role characters are not safe. Rest in peace, Biscuit.
Biscuit. And Atra's probably going to be fine, and she's probably also going to have Mikazuki's baby here anytime now.
Come on, Atra! What the hell?
Baby crazy Atra.
I don't know if anybody in our chat's actually watching that. I didn't see who said they were and who said they weren't. But for fuck's sake, Atra, really?
Wow.
Please have Mika's babies. Oh my god, really? That came out of your mouth.
That came out of your fucking mouth.
Yep.
Really? And then every episode after that, there's at least one scene where, Atra is sitting around thinking about having Mikazuki's babies.
And being deeply embarrassed about it.
And being
oh
deeply
my God.
embarrassed and absolutely fucking adorable about it. But, I'm sitting here going, oh my God, I can't believe these words are leaving your fucking lips.
Again.
What the fuck?
And then you get
It's so awkward.
It is awkward.
And hilarious. And I really think that those things that you would not see in
that is true. You wouldn't see that in Gundam series of the past.
Yes.
That is the thing. And I believe I actually did mention something like this in the latest episode. What was it, 16? That episode?
16, 17.
17. We're not full.
I think it was 16.
But
whichever one that episode was.
the story writing has caught up with the times.
Yes.
It is no longer the stereotypical mecha pilot, always comes out unscathed.
Because I watched all of 00. That was the last one that I really kept up with. I didn't quite like
Unicorn,
Destiny, Unicorn, stuff like that. It just didn't fit me. I didn't like the art style of some of them, and the characters of Destiny just. Okay,
never go down to it. The character just seemed a little too pretty boy for my liking. Be shown in Gundam.
In 00, Wing, and a couple other ones. I mean, G Gundam. Even so far back as probably 0080. Stuff like that. The main characters weren't actually in trouble. They had this plot armor, and you don't get this, oh, you're gonna push the limits. Like if Hero pushed the limits now, he'd end up like Mika.
Or dead.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. If Mikazuki activated Barbatos, a self-destruct feature on Barbatos, he'd be dead.
Oh, yeah.
No questions asked. Hero can do it all throughout Gundam Wing and just be hospitalized.
And that's my point.
Okay.
This is so far different from all the other Gundams in the past, and that drama is fucking real, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Keep it up, Bandai. And by the way, I love your new suits, and I love the new toys. The new Gunpla. I love the new frames. Keep it up. Because I know that you're watching because you love
I was like, we love your product, but we hate your legal division. With the fiery burning passion of 1,000 shots to Laughter's dome.
She didn't get shot in the head.
Oh, no. She got, no, you're right. It was far messier.
It was just a few to the chest.
Laughter.
Shot through the heart.
Oh, I will, I don't think I'll rest quite as well until Jazzly dies a peasant's death.
And he's going to, because fucking
Akihiro went off, as well he should.
That was one of the other things, just the dialogue writing in this one's really good too. Nothing comes across as cheesy to me.
It's not cheesy, it's not watered down.
And then, you get that part where you just see Aki, after the news has broke to Tekadon, and you just see Akihiro just standing there with the shadow over his eyes.
Shaking, clenched fists.
And all he has to say is,
give the order.
That takes a place among the all-time badass one-liners, but the circumstances under which it had to be given, it damn near broke my heart, man.
And that's that's up there with Roger that.
Yeah.
Gundam with its history.
Or another one that was good just before that, actually, when I forget her name, the silver-haired woman.
Oh, Asley?
Yeah, whatever her name is.
Along with Laughter.
Yeah, the other Gundam pilot that was with that was in the turbines that
always pelled around with
Laughter. That always pelled around with Laughter. When she came up upon the crime scene and saw.
Yeah,
I guess we've already gone into spoiler territory there. But when she came upon the crime scene and saw Laughter dead in a pool of her own blood.
That sort of heaving, sobbing.
They didn't make it. They didn't make it weird. They didn't make it awkward. They made it seem as though it was really how somebody would react upon seeing that.
About seeing a good close friend dead.
And then the voice actress's her performance on that particular scene made it like 15 times better. But the writing was so good too, because you don't have to have some cheesy line or something like that.
I'm about to say, just the acting in that scene where as he comes up on Lapter's body, just that heavy mix of sobbing and like hyperventilating, just trying to summon up the air to let out that just painful warning roar.
Yeah, and then it wasn't like
shit.
no, it was
a way.
like she couldn't quite get it out.
Yeah.
At first.
And it didn't seem forced. It didn't seem cheesy. It didn't seem.
It chilled me to my bones.
If we ever get around to it, but if we offered, an Otaku Saga award, probably for best scene in terms of voice acting, that might very well win it for this year.
That might
just that alone.
Well, this episode, just best emotional episode.
Yeah, just damn epic.
It beats out the previous episode where other things happened, and oh my god, this series. Oh man,
absolutely loving it.
Yes.
Yeah,
if you're not watching it, you should watch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Gundam storyline this raw. Chat mentioned it since 08th MS team or Gundam 0080. Like I said, the original series had a few moments, but damn, Iron-Blooded Orphans, holy shit! This should be the gold standard for mecha anime. I think this is what mecha anime should aspire to be.
I don't know. My favorite mecha anime is still Fullmetal Panic.
I can only hope that the remaster or the continuation is a continuation or a redo.
It's a continuation. It looks like.
I hope
from everything I've seen, it was a continuation.
I hope they do a job with that new series as they're doing with Gundam.
Yeah.
I love both as equals.
I'm in listen chats. These two episodes are probably responsible for 90% of dropped on Mal.
Huh.
Honestly, I could care less about Mal ratings.
Yeah.
Because
it's kind of like really.
They're not like super accurate. How do I want to put it?
Like I said, it's like
typically you get the vocal people.
The vocal minority.
Yeah.
But that's still interesting. I also think that those who decide to drop this series for these two episodes don't actually care about the series. Because you gotta finish it. You gotta see what happens. I know you like the characters, but come on. See it through to the end. Please.
I'm not gonna lie. Like straight up, they killed my favorite character. And that fucking hurt.
They killed her in an awful way.
The night that we watched that, we were planning on watching, I don't know, about 4 or 5 after that.
But that scene, it took the wind right out of our sails. It really did.
It hurt me so bad that we ended up having to take like an hour and a half, 2-hour break. I went and edited episodes.
Just to get your mind off it.
Yeah, it was like a gut punch. I will be honest. But I feel that that's not really a good reason to drop a series, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really, really. Woo.
Yeah, and it came out of nowhere, just all of a sudden. Just fucking hell.
Yeah.
Wonderful story writing. We didn't see it coming. We have a pretty good track record of predicting what's going to happen.
Yeah, if people want to drop the series over something like that, something as well written as that, I might add.
I'd imagine they're the same kind of people who dropped Game of Thrones after the wedding by Big White.
Yeah, probably. I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah.
It might also be because people aren't really used to these types of series these days, because you don't really see a whole lot of these come out in a season.
And that's
Like
why
typically the stuff that comes out is like, you know, either you get like slice of life like comedies, which we're watching plenty of this season,
As we always have, but
you know, or you get like even a lot of the drama series, you know, wouldn't go this far.
or even a lot of your standard action series, because you know you're still gonna, you know, basic bad guys win or good guys win, bad guys lose.
She was the best girl, Mindless. She was the best
She was best girl.
But things like this, things like the death of what was it? Gurren Lagann.
Kamina.
Kamina. The thing with Kamina, the thing with all this going on with the turbines, this is points in the anime that are vital for you to keep going.
Yeah, it's motivation for the surviving characters to carry on.
And that's why no matter what, I'm going to make these guys watch it, because I want to see Mikazuki kick the crap out of people.
I want to see Akihiro go to fucking Pound Town on Jazly. You know, like he did with the workout room.
And
he
also
destroyed that fucking workout room.
And also, not as heavy a point, but Iyak is still alive.
Oh yeah,
There's that to
is
resolve.
bothering me.
But we must, you know, they must fix that.
They have some trash in there.
Anyway, we are behind on the reactions on the channel for this series. However, the majority of them are the majority of the reactions are edited. However, we're going to release them all at once in a big lump sum with a bunch of little videos to keep them.
Well, it might not be all at once. It'll probably be like we'll release them like, you know, one day after another or something like that.
Kind of rapid
or
fire.
maybe within a few hours of each other or something.
Yeah.
So prepare for a major Gundam blitz.
Yeah, well, Gundam and Sangatsu no
A big
Lion.
drop. Yeah. Gundam, Sangatsu. What was the other one? What kind of?
Nanbaka.
Nanbaka.
Nanbaka we actually can't really talk about in this podcast because we've only watched one episode from the second half.
Yeah.
So that I do apologize about that, but it was just one of those that we never could quite get to.
Because
this
there was
past
always
week.
Something else.
Because there's always something else.
So you can probably expect it, this time next year, kind of like High Furry?
Let's not try that again.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so I just did want to briefly mention on a couple of other...
wait for it, Jay.
yeah, a couple of other series that we had. And Happy in Real Life. Yeah, we need to film those. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually no, I think I already talked about some of the ones I only hit the first episode for.
Yeah, in part one. I think you
did. I can't remember, so I'll just go ahead and briefly go over them again, I guess. So I watched the first episode for Kuzuno Honkai. It was all right, but it didn't grab me enough, and I really, really didn't think that the other two would be into it, which is why we're not doing a reaction on it. I'll probably end up watching it myself.
Finish it yourself and do a review, perhaps.
Yeah. Urara Meirocho. It really reminded me of The Order is a Rabbit. And I really did not like The Order is a Rabbit because I thought it was really boring. Like, it was just too slice of lifey. Yeah, I know, right? There wasn't enough of anything else mixed in for it to be interesting for me.
However, some of the gifts that I've found of that one.
It is beautifully animated. Like, it is really well animated.
It was JC Staff did that one, right?
Yeah, JC Staff did it, and it was definitely their A team. It's just the story does not interest me at all.
Going on.
Let's see. I watched a few episodes of Seiren. It's kind of interesting. It's like it says that it's an original on here that I'm looking at. I'm looking at our anime list, but it really strikes me as a series that's based off of like an eroge or something like that, where you have like multiple girls that you can go after, and it'll do the endings. Because basically, it seems to do story arcs for each girl, and then at the at the beginning of the next story arc, it's like the next one never happened. I think.
So really,
that's the impression that I get from it.
Okay.
I haven't watched One Room, but I know somebody who did, and he says that it's one of those where it's like the first person protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
No Face Coon. Not No Face Coon.
Not even.
Like the camera is from his point of view.
Oh.
Like Anatoria XX was.
No, please no.
No,
Please
no, thank you.
Yeah, I am definitely in the. Definitely in the.
Good for Erogade, not good for anime.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely in the please don't do that category.
Oh, don't do it. Oh my god.
Chain Chronicle.
I've only watched a couple episodes of Chain Chronicles. The battle scenes kind of were like, oh, this is cringy. Oh, this is weird.
Like Sailor Moon Bad or
so the parts in Tales where we just finished off in Lady Lake, right?
Yeah.
Take the team up scene and multiply the cringe by about a factor of 5. I think that
So instead of just grabbing the sword, they're going like this.
It's cringe. It's not.
Not like overly, like they're not like overreacting or just overdoing everything like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, they are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's what makes it cringeworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's kind of stereotypical 80s, 90s action anime.
80s, 90s RPG.
Ooh, yellow makes you stronger, I imagine.
Yep.
Ouch.
It definitely, it tried to make a one-to-one transition from RPG, from literally, the turn-based RPG elements that are tied into those older RPGs, and literally shove them into an anime. And it doesn't quite work. I don't think. I'm having a hard time getting back to it because I can't get over the triple combo and everybody's like, yes, we can do it. Ah!
That sounds incredibly dumb.
It does sound dumb.
It was odd.
And then I think the last one that I checked out was Minami Kamakura Koko Joshi Jitensha Bu.
Oh, so Long Riders, but not Long Riders.
Yeah, if you're going for a bicycling anime, Long Riders is better. At least my impression from the first episode. It may have gotten better, but I did like Long Riders a lot better. Basically, the main character moves back to this town that she once lived in and to go to high school, and she hasn't ridden a bike since she was a kid, and the entire first episode, Zero watched it with me.
Oh, that was bad.
The entire first episode was literally her finding her trying to ride the bike, falling off because she can't ride a bicycle, and her getting one of the other girls that's going to her school to help her learn how to ride a bike.
Again.
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I haven't ridden a bike since I was in high school, I think. Or it's been a number of years. But I recently did so like that.
Actually, I got a better one for you. My ex-wife first learned how to ride a bike when she was 17. And it didn't take her very long.
All right. Well, if you haven't learned it, there's still a process.
Well, to be fair, our main character starts learning how to ride it before the school day is over. or before the school day starts. Actually,
Yeah. At the same time, my ex wasn't like she was clumsy. She could be very clumsy. You know this.
yes,
You guys know
Yes,
this.
yeah.
It took her like 5 minutes.
The first episode was kind of cringy.
Very cringy.
That's all I'm saying.
Cringy for the story's sake,
Yeah.
I guess. Gotta show the
But
struggle.
yeah, if you're looking for a one of those slice of life moe
Cute girls in a
hobby
school club.
anime,
Hobby
yeah.
anime.
yeah, slice of life moe hobby anime, and you're looking for one that has bicycling, Long Riders is better. I like Long Riders a lot better.
I feel like
AKA series I cannot stand.
I feel like this one is kind of like a Manchu. It doesn't quite fit in there.
Yeah, it's one of those series as far as the mold goes, but you feel like there's something wrong with it.
At least
As
the
far
main,
as one of those series.
I would say at least the main character tries to get on a bike in this one.
Yeah.
Watch you. Fucking hell.
I don't know. It could be more in depth than that. We've only watched the first episode. I don't really plan on watching any more of it because I was sitting there the entire time going, I can't watch, but I don't want to look away.
Pretty much. Yeah, that was that episode.
All right. What about since the chat is pretty much demanding it, status of our backlog?
So as far as the backlog goes, we have several series right now that are airing now that we have to catch up on. There's also one glaring one that I want to talk about, which is Rewrite. And that's because before the season started, we thought we were going to get caught up on the first season of Rewrite and then just roll right into the second season. But we watched episodes 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah. All we have left is 13.
And all we have left of the first season is 13. And I cannot bring myself to want to sit down and watch it.
It's just gone downhill in the latter.
I really
badly.
liked Rewrite in the beginning of the first season, but the last few episodes I have zero interest for.
Yeah.
What Salazar said, Rewrite left me confused.
Whatever hype I had after we first see, Necro Zombie T-Rex there, from that point onward, it just killed any interest I had.
Yeah.
I cannot continue this series either. So we're not going to be doing the second season. We're gonna finish episode 13, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
As for other ones I've seen mentioned in chat, and Happy, we will eventually finish that up.
Yeah. Well, obviously the currently airing series take priority.
Yeah.
For the time being, and we're doing a decent job at getting that caught up. The only issue is editing, because editing takes a lot of time.
Editing sucks.
And we did take a...
Well, actually, it's not the editing that sucks, it's the rendering.
Yeah, it's the rendering that sucks.
Yes, Manless, we're not dropping it. I have to do at least one more whip and nene to the opening because Punch Mine Happiness is my jam. No, we haven't dropped it.
I do love Punch Mine Happiness.
That song is just awesome. Like Alzorna Rhapsody, it's audible antidepressant. Absolutely love it.
Let's see, what else was mentioned? So we had Anne Happy, Relife. Relife will definitely be finishing up.
How many more episodes we have left to go on that?
I think we had 2.
Just 2?
Yeah, it's not very far.
But again, other series have taken priority.
Yeah, other series have taken priority. I'm kind of interested to see where it's going to leave off because I read the manga. Like, I'm caught up on the manga. I read it every week. So I am kind of interested to see where it's going to leave off. I know we're definitely going to finish up. What was that one? I can picture the main character.
Describe the story.
That's kind of difficult.
Oh.
It's Oh god. Hang
Riz's
on.
broke.
Yeah, let me pull this up real quick because I have it in the anime folder here. Sakamoto Desuka. Yeah, we'll definitely figure out. See, I said the story's kind of hard to describe.
It's all about Sakamoto.
It's all about Swagamoto.
And then as far as Jay just asked about the Lydia code,
I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm really not sure about that one because that one was really disappointing. But yeah, actually, Minless, honestly, the Chiba characters are the only ones I really care about. Like the guy that was billed as the main character in the beginning,
He's a douche.
him and
Canaria.
Canaria,
Yeah.
I really don't like them at all.
I do.
Sorry. But yeah, Qualidia Code for me was personally disappointing because I was expecting so much because of the authors that were involved in it.
But it really turned into a case of too many chefs spoiling the broth, I think.
I think at some point I'll force these two to watch Quilidia Code
Yeah.
as the only person who likes action on this set.
I like
far.
action.
I like action, it's just
I tend to like slice of life more.
I know. Both of you do. Anyway,
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of other series that we got behind on that we never finished, but we'll be taking a look at those mostly as a case-on-case basis.
but yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to get those done.
Or at the very least come to a decision on them
Yeah.
in some cases.
But
So
yeah, I
they're
think
still on our radar, so don't worry, people.
Yep. So yeah, that's about it for the podcast. Actually, looking at the time,
It is
need to get
about
ready
it.
for the- I really need to get ready to go to work. So, yeah, we don't really have a wrap up there for the podcast. We usually just kind of say bye and end it. So
So bye.
bye.
Let's end it.
bye. Let's end it.